Welcome to the 6th anniversary episode of Mc&T's Sports Report on CHCO-TV in St. Andrews. And now, here's two guys who most viewers didn't think would last 6 minutes, let alone 6 years, Evan and Joe.
Welcome to the debut edition of Mc&T's Sports Report here on CHCO-TV. I'm Joe Ticotsky, and this is my co-host, Evan McFarlane. I'm from New Haven, Connecticut, and Evan is from right here in St. Andrews. And we hope to make this a sports show where we discuss sports, debate sports, maybe even predict a little bit of sports. We'll have a guest interview during the show, and we'll also do some things to keep it lighthearted.
I'm Joe Ticotsky down in New Haven, Connecticut.
I'm Evan McFarlane here in St. Andrews, New Brunswick, Canada.
And you're watching episode 88 of Mc&T's Sports Report on CHCO-TV, which is also our 6th anniversary episode.
Nice. That was also my hockey number when I was mildly playing the sport to a mediocre level.
And I think if you look up the definition of the term amateur hour, right next to it will be that clip they just showed from our opening episode, which aired on October 2nd, 2019. I have the same shirt here, so that says something about my wardrobe selection.
I tried it on. I'm proud of you for fitting into it, man. I tried mine on, but I was 70 pounds lighter then. It didn't even get over my shoulders.
We'll save our reminiscing for the last segment of the show because this is supposed to be somewhat of a party atmosphere, so let's get going. We've got some surprises and other fun stuff on the show, but let's start things off with another fun segment of what I like to call Eat with Joe, or more accurately, Watch Joe Eat. Covered Bridge, as you know, is one of our sponsors, and recently my Canadian connection, who, to disguise her identity to the border guards, we'll just refer to as Not Robin Pauck, was visiting Connecticut, and she brought me a bag of the hard-to-find Donair flavor.
Hey, here we go.
By Covered Bridge. And for those who aren't familiar with the Donair, it originated in Halifax, Nova Scotia, early 70s. It's a uniquely Canadian variation of the doner kebab, featuring spiced ground beef served in a soft pita with chopped tomatoes and onions, topped with a sweet and tangy Donair sauce. I won't even tell you what's in that. But now I haven't eaten meat in over 6 years, so I don't know if this officially counts as breaking my streak, but
yeah. Yes, it does.
Meat or meat byproducts. Donair.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh.
It's a unique flavor if you haven't had it before.
It's not bad, but I'm going to have to go to the Madison Square Garden shot glass for this one. Oh.
Bottoms up.
But that's good.
Holy. What are you drinking this early in the morning?
Anniversary show, you know what
I like that. I like that.
For more on their company and to order online, go to coveredbridgechips.com. Covered Bridge, the favorite chip of Johnny Bower. You know who Johnny Bower is?
Yeah, absolutely. Did you make this quote up?
The goalie for the 1967 Maple Leafs. This is the year, Ev.
Bring him back. Bring him back, baby. Let's go.
We don't want to forget our original sponsor, the Oat Company of St. John's, Newfoundland. Always natural, no sugar added. They'll be sending us more products soon once your damn postal strike ends. And you can order their delicious bars online at oatcompany.com. Well, I mentioned some surprises on the show, and we've collected a 6-pack of congratulatory video messages from friends of the show. I know, Evan, you got excited there when I said 6-pack, and video messages. Let's start out with a message from Megan from our sponsor, Covered Bridge Chips.
Hi there, I'm Megan Graham, Marketing Manager with Covered Bridge Chips in Woodstock, New Brunswick. We're a proud snack sponsor of Mc&T's Sports Report, and we'd like to congratulate Evan and Joe on 6 years being on the air. We'll be tuning in with a bag of chips, of course, for many more to come.
The congrats continue as we now go the music route for these next two. We'll hear from the boy wonder himself, fiddler and guitarist extraordinaire Luca Hall, my uber-talented buddy from Prince Edward Island, And then we'll hear from legendary Canadian rapper Maestro Fresh Wes.
Maestro.
He now makes his home right here in New Brunswick. So enjoy both of these.
Hey folks, my name is Luca Hall and I'm a guitarist, singer-songwriter, and fiddle player from the beautiful Prince Edward Island, Canada. I'm just doing my photography homework here. I'm just hopping on here tonight just to congratulate Evan and Joe for 6 incredible years on air, and keep up the great work, boys.
This is a throwdown. It's the Maestro Fresh West saying happy anniversary. Year 6, still in the mix. Evan and Joe, man. Congratulations. All the best. Peace.
And for our final 2 messages, we have the Toronto Blue Jays play-by-play announcer, Dan Schulman, who, as we speak, is in the middle of a tense series with the New York Yankees, as this is filmed in early October. And then a final, very creative message from the former mayor of St. Andrews, our good friend, Brad Henderson.
Hey guys, it's Dan Schulman from Sportsnet, and the Blue Jays just wanted to wish Evan and Joe congratulations on their 6th anniversary and all the best in the future.
Joe, Evan, wow. I've got one for you. What does the Brady Bunch, Gilligan's Island, and the Addams Family all have in common? You know what it is? None of those shows lasted 6 seasons. You've already beat the greats. Congratulations. It's absolutely amazing that 2 guys who could not play sports are able to last 6 seasons talking about sports. I couldn't be more prouder of both of you. So congratulations on that. The Wonder Years, it went 6 seasons. So Kevin, Winnie, those 2 people, they're dynamic on camera. You're right there amongst the greats. Congratulations.
Well, great job by all 6 of those, and we thank them for taking the time to throw some love our way.
Absolutely. And I mean, I'm not shocked that Brad did something creative. He's got a little bit more spare time on his hands now. And he was out here at the course the other day, and he did give me a fair warning that this was coming. And it's funny that he chirped our athletic abilities, because I snuck out and watched a couple shots, and dear God, it's rough, man. I gave the maintenance crew a heads up that there were some craters that need to be fixed.
A very creative job by Brad. He is good. All right. Well, that's the end of segment 1. Coming up, we'll have an interview that CHCO's Vicki Hogarth conducted over the summer with one of the show's longtime friends, Yale assistant basketball coach Brandon Sherrod, who was actually the first guest we had on our very first episode. Well, you're watching the 6th anniversary episode of Mc&T Sports Report on CHCO-TV. Welcome back to Mc&T Sports Report on CHCO-TV, sponsored by the Oat Company and Covered Bridge Chips. This is the 6th anniversary episode, and during our basketball camp here in St. Andrews back in August, CHCO's Vicki Hogarth caught up with our old friend and current men's assistant basketball coach at Yale University, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Brandon Sherrod. Enjoy.
Brandon, tell us a little bit about how you got involved with Basketball by the Sea. What's your journey here?
Oh, man. I was working with a shooting coach who happened to be a friend of Joe's, and he invited me for the inaugural year of Basketball by the Sea. And when I came up here, I was really impressed by how peaceful the space was, and it just seemed like it was a great reset before going into the school year at that time. I was going into my senior year at Yale. And for the last 10 years or so, outside of 2 years for COVID, and one because I was with a team-related trip, I've been coming up, and it's just been a great way to kind of contribute to the game, but also to get away for a bit and get out of the routine of being in America.
I think a lot of our viewers are very familiar with you. Nevertheless, I'd like to go over your background in sports. Tell us a little bit about where basketball began for you and where it's taken you.
Sure. So it started at Stratford High School in Stratford, Connecticut. I'm a Bridgeport, Connecticut native, but ended up going to school there. Started as a freshman, so at 14 began, was 300 pounds, lost 100 pounds between my freshman and sophomore year, and then ended up being the Gatorade Player of the Year in 2010. and then ended up at Yale and graduated in 2016. Took a year off of school during that time to sing in an a cappella group called the Whiffenpoofs, and then played for 7 years overseas in Italy for the first 5, and then Finland for a brief stint, and then Israel after that. And I've been coaching at Yale for the last 2 seasons. This will be year 3 coming up, and we're the back-to-back Ivy League champions, hoping to three-peat this year as well.
Gosh, congratulations. That's a big update from last year.
Yeah, no, we're looking forward to keeping it going, and I think we've had a great deal of success in the last 10 years, so I'm happy to be a part of that.
When you're coaching at Yale versus being a coach here, what's the big difference between the age groups, or do you approach some things in a similar way?
I approach a lot of things in a similar way. I think the environment is really whatever you make of it, and that's within my control. So I have to come towards it with a lot of energy and enthusiasm. Sometimes the kids aren't always ready to go, and even for myself, getting up early in the morning. I'm a morning person, but I might come in a little groggy. So as much energy as I can give, I try to dole it out. The other thing that I think is really important is giving yourself grace through the process. That's something that I preach. We talked about the phrase, practice makes perfect, as being something that people know. It's a mantra that rings in a lot of our heads, but I like to say practice makes improvement. And if we can focus on that, I think it's a better goal that's attainable as opposed to trying to strive for perfection.
When I think back on coaches I've had in my life, a lot of their advice still rings true to me today, whether I take that into athletic pursuits or just life pursuits. What is some of the best takeaways you hope the kids coming to this camp take away that they can apply to both the sport and to life itself?
Yeah, just doing things with quality all the time. You can be excellent in everything that you do. It's just a matter of that attention to detail and the attention towards the effort you're putting towards your goal. And so if you can focus on that, usually the end result that you're trying to get to aligns with the quality that you put in on a daily basis. You can build on those habits, and it's something that I think has really been a point of emphasis in my life and in my career as a basketball player.
You have an amazing life story that you openly share, and I love that about you. What do you hope kids take away from you sharing that with them about how you got into the sport, how it changed your life and motivated you to really change yourself on so many levels?
Sure, I think you can use basketball as a means to an end. It shouldn't be the thing that you just look at as something that's going to be the end-all, be-all. There's so much more to life than basketball, but if you can use the platform that you gain from being a player and the discipline that comes along with working towards becoming the best player that you can be, I think that you can apply those things directly towards your life. The other piece is that it's never too late to start. I was definitely a late bloomer, and I think I'm still learning things as I continue on, both as a coach and as a player, now that I do it in my free time. But I think for these kids starting so young, it's going to set them up for success in the future because they already have a foundation at a much younger age than I even did. And it doesn't even matter if you're 14, you can still end up being a professional athlete if you really put the time and effort in and have a good circle around you.
I've enjoyed following your career since I've come to know you. I'm hoping one day that leads to politics. I will wait and see. But what are the takeaways that you have from the sport that you apply to all aspects of your life?
Yeah, I think the great thing about basketball is that it's such an instant gratification sport, but there are certain things that you have to do over the course of 40 minutes, in our case, in America, that lead towards winning basketball. And so in life, it's not just about what you do in that first quarter. It's sustaining that sort of effort and attention to detail, as I mentioned before, over the course of the time you're on this planet Earth. And it takes a team of people to help you ultimately reach that goal. Basketball is a sport that does take, some individual skill. You have to be competent enough to contribute, but it's a 5-person per team game, and you have to make sure you rely and lean on your teammates along with the folks that you meet over the course of your life. And hopefully, if those things align and you work together actively, you'll be good to go. I
have even taken from my interviews with you life advice that I carry with me to this day. One is you either win or you learn.
That's right. That's what my dad says. We never lose. We either win or we learn. I think that approach and perspective is key. And I think the other great quote that I love is life it's 90% of how you react to the 10% of things that happen to you. So it's 10% of the things that happen to you, it's 90% how you react to it. And if you can react effectively and react with the right attitude and energy, I think you're usually good to go.
I was so happy to see so many girls here today, too. And as we see women's basketball really take off, we see it also coming to Canada in a big way this year that we're all very excited about. What does that tell you when you see the number of girls in a small town registering for a basketball camp?
Yeah, it brings me joy. I love working with girls on the basketball side of things. They seem to have a better attention span than the guys do, and they're great listeners. And I have 3 younger sisters who I love dearly, and I've learned a great deal from being their older brother. And I was saying to a couple of the coaches here that I wouldn't be the man that I am today without them. And so seeing girls here in Canada playing at such a high level and having examples that are in the NCAA and also in the WNBA, it's a great platform again for them to hopefully improve in their game, and maybe they'll end up in the same place that their idols are at now.
It's a pretty big deal for us to have the Yale basketball coach in our town for the week, coaching our locals, our local kids especially. What brings you back here year after year? Why do you keep saying yes and being on board to come to our town and teach the youth here? Yeah, first, it's hard to say no to Joe. He's a great guy. I'm really just really proud of him for the way that he's embraced the community here too. I think it's hard to go to a different place, whether that's Canada, another state, or another country, and establish yourself and really want to integrate yourself into the community. So his curiosity is something that I admire, and I think I have similar traits in that regard of wanting to be able to contribute to community building in different places. The second thing is that because it's so tight-knit, you get to know people pretty intimately. So this is like I don't even know what number interview this is that we've done together, but it's amazing to see each other year after year and to hear some of the life changes, and it's a true joy to be here. And then the last piece are the kids that are here. They have a lot of earnestness, and they're eager to learn and to soak up all the information that they can, and they obviously love the game, and I share that same love and same passion, and it's a great reset for me, getting away from all the craziness in America and my job, and just being able to have some sort of peace and slowing down a bit before getting into the school year and the season. I have to ask that too. I mean, what was it? What was the feeling when you came into Canada? What does it feel like this year? Does it feel any different? It was a much easier border crossing. I will say that. So shout out to the border guard who was in St. Stephen. I think the other thing is that this summer has been pretty chaotic with travel and recruiting, and I rarely take time to just be in solace or like to not have literally any noise around me. And taking naps is another thing that I haven't done in quite some time, so it's been good to kind of get back to that. I think the other piece is that there's something about like, again, I go back to community. There's something about friendship, and Joe's been an awesome person. I talk about Tony Mays, who's another person who I've gotten to know over the years, and his son Porter, who's a counselor in our camp. But it's the people that make the place. And so I've just been really grateful to have met awesome people here, and I'm just looking forward to the next time I'll be able to spend some time with them in a more peaceful and stress-free environment. And I think you have some really good advice about that too, because I know when you moved to Italy, you learned Italian. Yes. You started teaching yourself Italian. What is your advice for people when they relocate, be it for a sport or be it for university or a job? Yeah, find pockets of home and create those same spaces that you had in your previous place in that current space. So when I was going abroad, I would always find a barbershop. I'd find a cafe that I could go to consistently. I'd find a restaurant that I would go to consistently. I'd find a place that I could just go to if I needed a couple minutes of solace. And I would, revisit those places and get to know the people who are in those spaces. And then over time, you get to know them and then other patrons that are nearby, and hopefully they'll, bring you along to their homes potentially and go get along this life journey with you. But you have to put yourself out there. I think that's half the struggle. I think a lot of people are sometimes fearful of what those relationships might look like and how they might develop. But, the hardest thing is saying hello. That's what my mom used to say. Once you get past that, it's really up to the person that you're talking to continue that conversation. But if you're earnest and you have good intentions, it usually works out. People who love not just following you here, but follow you back at home and follow your career, where can they follow what you're doing? Sure, you can follow me on Instagram or Twitter at brod35, BROD35. That was my number I played with in college. On LinkedIn, Brandon Sherrod, and then Facebook, Brandon Tyler Sherrod. But usually I post updates on the season and the things that we're getting up to. Been getting into a lot more public speaking lately, so that's something I've enjoyed, being able to motivate people and kind of encouraging them to feel empowered in the choices that they're making, and obviously the steps that they're taking towards whatever degree of success they have in their life. Well, you are living proof of a dream that has come true, so thank you for your time. Thank you for being you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Man, when that guy's career is over coaching, he might as well just have his own sports show. We're in trouble. Like, he talks all the time like there's a camera in front of him. He's so smooth. Love it.
He is. He's amazing. Great guy. And soon enough, I'll be catching him on the sidelines, second-guessing their every decision at Yale games.
And yelling, boo, coach.
Well, after the break, we will wrap up our 6th anniversary show with some thoughts from the two good-looking guys you're staring at on your screen right now.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. The scriptwriter never lies. This is Mc&T Sports Report on CHCO-TV in St. Andrews. We'll be back after this short break. Welcome back to Mc&T Sports Report on CHCO. Before we get to our schmaltzy end of show thoughts, we have to talk about Halloween. The initial airing of this episode will actually be shown on October 31st before replaying throughout the month of November. So, Evan, what did you wear for Halloween before you rushed over to the studio to tape this episode? And what's your favorite candy bar? Two-part question.
Okay. First off, costume. Bit of a scramble. I actually didn't make it out the yard with it fitting. I ordered a Stitch costume from Lilo and Stitch, because being the big box office hit that it was. Accidentally ordered it from Temu. They do not make them for guys that are 6'5". So I just moved into a new neighborhood. They saw a lot more than they wanted to see from their new neighbor, and I had to come back in, and I'm just back in my regular off-season golf pro attire now. Candy bar, it's a toss-up, man. I'll eat every Reese's peanut butter cup I can find. Like I'll take them from kids. Those are mine. You're not allowed to have them. And if I have to, it's a Wonder Bar. They're pretty deadly as well. But I think it's definitely peanut butter cup. What about you?
We don't
Probably
have
it's Werther's originals, right?
We don't have the Wonder Bar down here.
What? Oh my God. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm gonna ship you some.
But, well, first, so I dressed up as the 58th grader, and you can see the picture there on the screen of me on my first day back to school in September. And I do that every year. I just update it. It's a stupid thing. This year, I decided to post it on my Instagram page, along with some corny kids song called "First Day of School." Well, in the 5 weeks since I posted it, no lie, it's gotten over 92,000 likes and over 1.2 million views, which sort of proves that social media is indeed contributing to the decline and end of Western civilization. But
Yep.
bizarre. And while my favorite candy bar is usually a good solid Kit Kat, all I had in my kitchen were some year-old Butterfinger bars, so they'll have to do. And that sound you may hear in the background is my insulin pump exploding. Oh my God, these are so good.
I had chips and chocolate this morning before 9:15 your time.
Chef's kiss.
Go for a walk, buddy. You gotta walk that off.
All right, partner, it's about that time. Let's wrap up this anniversary special with your thoughts on our first 6 years. Go for it.
I can't believe it's actually been 6 years, which is crazy. A few people people make jokes about it. I know Brad makes jokes about how long it is, but he's also the first one to say it's pretty cool that it's lasted that long. And COVID did a lot of horrible things, but it did not hurt this show. And we're very lucky to be able to do it the way we do and to have so many great guests that oblige when we call out to them to speak to us for half an hour or so. So it's been a ride, man. I'm looking forward to the next 6. Next year we'll get somebody from the Stanley Cup winning Toronto Maple Leafs to come on the show.
Or at least the guys that bring in the cup.
Yeah.
Well, first, we both like to thank Patrick Watt, the station manager of CHCO-TV here in St. Andrews, for allowing us to do this show every month. Our show started out being taped right in the studios. And I think when COVID hit, which was after our 4th episode, I think Patrick was secretly hoping that would be the end of the show.
He was for sure.
But Zoom came to the rescue and saved us. But serious thanks to Patrick. He is the steady hand that makes it such a local gem. And also, we both want to give huge thanks to Florence Mitchell, our editor.
100%.
Really, without Flo, this show would not exist.
No.
Her editing, graphics, and technical wizardry makes our show look really professional looking. I'd also like to thank my old college buddies, Doug for contributing graphics and Mark for doing the show openings. I don't think any of us thought 45 years ago that they would be contributing or I would be doing this. We also don't want to forget Amelia for handling those duties in the early years.
Yeah.
And finally, thanks to the young man on the other side of the screen here. Besides being the co-host of this show and putting up with all my on-air shenanigans, he's truly become a good friend of mine. So if nothing else out of this show, we forged a pretty impressive friendship. And you have just moved into a new house.
I have, yeah, and I can speak to the exact same comment, Joe. We've become great buddies, and this just gives us a reason to at least check in with each other every couple weeks, which is a special thing to have. And yeah, we're setting up your bunkhouse at the new place as we speak. So next time you're up, we'll have a nice bunk bed for you outside in the shed. It's by the water, though. You'll love it.
Okay. All right. So we hope all of you out there, whether you watch live on CHCO or on the station's YouTube channel, have enjoyed our first 88 episodes spanning 6 years. In an increasingly unstable and often hostile world, we try to bring some humor and a little bit of warmth into our little sports show here and introduce you to some amazing guests from throughout Canada and the United States. So we both look forward to year 7 and beyond, and we'll see you next month. I am Joe in New Haven, Connecticut.
And I'm Evan here in St. Andrews, New Brunswick, Canada. Thank you to all, and we will see you next season.
Thanks for watching our 6th anniversary episode. This is Mc&T Sports Report on CHCO-TV in St. Andrews.